Flashback.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a new one. All you do there, see what it says new mail. Just go that, just click on that. No. That's... Yeah. It's not funny because Donna shouldn't have to see me as a woman.
You've got nice boobs.
No, it's just not. It's just my head. They just put it on there to... I'm angry. And not because I'm in it, but because it degrades women, which I hate. How can I hate women? My mum's one. There's a lot of truth in that. And that's why when I see rubbish, I'm not annoyed because I'm in it or I'm a prude. It offends women.
And our mums.
In a way. It's sexist. And I hate that.
So do I.
Yeah, but I've said it, haven't I?
Well, we both said it. We've had meetings where we both
Yeah,
said
but,
it.
you know, I really hate it.
Yeah, well, I've always said.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. What a glorious day. All bad things have now been defeated. That's right. Now, World of Warcraft has been dealing with what can only be described as a PR disaster over the past several months. It is more complex than just the game not being great or the claims about what the cube crawling and all this kind of stuff that was going on. These two independent pillars of bad PR have actually, even though they aren't directly related, have gone on to like feed each other, where the player base isn't happy with the state of the game and they aren't happy with, you know, the state of, you know, the internal company stuff. But it's my opinion, and maybe I'm not giving gamers enough credit here. Really, I say that unironically. But I feel like if World of Warcraft was in a really good state, which it's been a long time since it has been, all of this other stuff, while still bad, really wouldn't be hurting the company. Because at the end of the day, if your game is good or your product is good, people are still going to consume it for the most part. You know, we can look at things like, you know, like sports getting woke and people eventually tuning out. That's true. But also, the product hasn't been good for a long time in the NBA. The same two teams, the super teams. People don't like super teams. So there's always like more to it. But I want to announce here, first and foremost, a huge thank you to Blizzard for ending bad depictions of women. Now, I'm sure they made a bunch of women work overtime to do this. And I actually feel bad for Wowhead because they're the ones that announced it formally and they got crushed, even though it isn't like their fault. 628 quote tweets with just 1,200 likes. Some in-game paintings have received updates, a 9.1.5, to tone down their allure. As we can see here. Here we have a pixelated Duke Nukem 3D level of chesticles. Okay. Here, somehow, even though we have more pixels, the woman looks worse. The face looks worse. They've made the chest much smaller, and they've covered her up. You can see, oh, look at my tweet go, 1,000 likes. This definitely makes up for years of bad behavior by leadership. You'll hear Zach Asm go, what an effing joke. 5,000 likes. And here's another one. This here actually made me upset. What are we women not to be shown off? If you want to add clothes, that's fine. But literally take a picture of just being a woman. They replaced her with a bowl of fruit. I'm not kidding. They replaced her with a bowl of fruit. You see this one? I mean, they're just getting female. Stop. Abusing. Female, staff. Remove all spicy references from our games. That's a Friends reference that most people maybe don't remember. That was always funny. think she was trying to teach him French or something like that. Friends still holds up. You know, I know it's just whatever TV, but it's still fine. I look back at what we have now in modern programming, and I'm like, God, you know, the 90s and 2000s were amazing compared to what we have now. When did finding bad behavior in the workplace equal ensuring women can't be represented looking good? There are absolutely tons of women in this thread, and they're dunking on them too. I mean, they have men that aren't covered up, and yet 90% of those commenting about it probably never would have noticed those graphics. As a female WoW player, as if this truly matters, no thanks. I'll continue to put my character in the skimpiest stuff I can, even my men. Yeah. This idea that, you know, de-spicify, geez, what a way to describe adult women existing for the sheer crime of being beautiful. Since when did shaming women's body end up being a progressive take in video games? Nobody. Blizzard, we're going to make these changes in the game that 95% of the player base never noticed. We want to seem like we're addressing our issues without actually addressing our issues. By the way, this isn't even, I mean, I'm screaming they turned her into a bowl of fruit. More unrealistic beauty standards for women. This isn't even the first time. We go back to 9 days ago. A small but meaningful change is coming in 9.1.5. Wow, I hope it really helps address some of the players' top complaints. As noted in the Icy Veins forum, an achievement titled "My Sack is Gigantique" will be retitled to "My Storage is Gigantique." Oh, God. Patriarchy demolished. Are you kidding me? Like, you're making me feel better every day about putting more time into Final Fantasy, which, by the way, I stream on twitch.tv/thequartering or on YouTube on my Quartercast channel. Haven't played in a few days, but looking to get back into a nice run this weekend. I'm totally not going to spend all the time in the saucer. I'm definitely going to finish that MSQ. Anyway, here's the thing. Yes, it is a drop in the bucket, so to speak. All right. And many weirdos online will gaslight you and say, "Well, you can't fap to a low quality image in your video game?" Yeah, right. Nobody was actually doing that, but this is how they shut down the conversation. And what happens to drops in the bucket is they accumulate. And before you know it, you've put in 100 or 200 of these quote unquote small insignificant changes. And now the game just doesn't feel the same, look the same. And if you want a more practical reason to have a problem with this, why are you spending time on this? The game needs enormous help, both in the classic version and in retail. And you're going back and changing a few paintings that nobody's ever noticed. I mean, seriously. Obviously I'm not like a hardcore World of Warcraft player. I couldn't tell you where these paintings are. I think most people couldn't tell you where they are. There are some, I hear you furiously typing, but you get my point. And what is this exactly? Oh, it's a ball sack joke, so let's remove that from the game. Yes, remove all fun. It couldn't possibly be why a Korean game is getting all the press lately. I'm not saying that, you have to have bad, like stuff that's over the top, but like, come on. Is this where we're at with video games? And another achievement, Bros Before Ho Ho Ho's, will be retitled Holiday Bromance. Players earn that one for using mistletoe on 8 Alliance NPCs with brother in their name. I mean, I guess I want to know, though, okay? Because things like this, here's the reality, and what weirdos on Twitter won't tell you, or really, they just don't understand. It's just a little change. It's just a little change. Do you know how many hours they probably spent on this? I can almost guarantee you that there was more than one meeting at Blizzard about this. More than one. Multiple. staff resources spent on renaming an achievement that offended literally nobody. Nobody. I want to know how many people were really complaining about this. This just makes Blizzard look... Yeah, and I know, and I hear you. I know a lot of Blizzard employees watch my videos, and I'm sorry, but I know that you know this looks dumb, right? And I know that Blizzard is in somewhat of a no-win scenario where they do stuff like this, but then they make like press releases about it. And they want everyone to pat them on the back, and they want everyone to say, "Oh yeah, I totally forgot all about the cause suite and all this other stuff that happened." Which, by the way, it was like 5 employees out of the many tens of thousands. I feel bad for all the other employees that have to be stained by that. But what? 2 weeks ago, Blizzard spokesperson, confirmed that they removed, references to Jesse McCree. I actually understand that one. That makes sense. But is this, how much time and money did you spend on this while your game, World of Warcraft achievement removes references to hoes and giant sacks bit by bit. Blizzard continues to remove off-color references and WoW. That's the kind of stuff. Little nuggets here and there are like what people like that. It's funny, and it has like, who's being hurt by that? Who's genuinely being hurt by that? All you're doing is making changes to games journalists who don't play your video games, and a couple of weirdos on Twitter. The people playing your game didn't ask for this. Stop.